Hi Sabrina, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. So my name's Sophia, as you know from the past weeks. So I'm just going to start off the session like we do every week. Just talk a little bit about confidentiality. So basically what happens here stays here, like the Vegas rule. Also, like if you're talking about hurting yourself, harming others, anything like that, I will have to tell someone else just because for your safety, my safety, and everyone's safety. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, perfect. So I know you came here in the past due to like some school struggles and some school issues. Do you want to expand a little more on that, or?
So I mean, like as we talked in the past, like I'm in my first year. I'm taking like custom border services, so like it's a really hard program. Like it's really tough.
For sure.
And like my thing is like we have a lot of tests and like a lot of like big assignments. So like are like heavy, and like my problem is I wait until like the last minute because like I obviously want to like hang out with my friends and do fun stuff, like because like you're trying to like make friends and like do that stuff, so like it's like hard to try and like manage my time, and like my grades are fine, but like I just feel like I'm not doing as good as I could.
Yeah, for sure. And that can be really hard too. Are you from Peterborough or?
No, I'm from like very far away, so
Yeah, and that's like another thing because you want to experience college with like all your friends and do things that you see on movies and TV shows like that, right? So that can be really hard too because you want to experience college, but you also want to live and actually be able to get a job and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So customs, what made you go into customs?
I guess I just kind of like, I don't know, some of my like friends from like the past have like taken it and they really liked it, and like that job just kind of like working at a border like really kind of like caught my eye. Like obviously there's shows on TV and it's not like that, but like it's kind of like fun, so like that's what like made me kind of go into it and like think like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah, for sure. And how are you enjoying it so far?
It's good so far. A part of me like kind of is like, is this really like the program for me? Like, did I choose the right program to go into?
What other program would you consider going into?
I don't know, like my like ultimate dream was to like work with like kids with like autism and like that sort of thing, but then I was like, no, like I don't want to do that. But then a part of me is like, oh, like maybe police foundations is good. Like,
yeah,
I'm just kind of like all over the place with like.
What made you go away from working with children?
The pay.
The pay?
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
And like I also like, I don't really like, I have patience, but I don't have that much patience to sit there and be like, don't do that. Like I just like, a part of that program was like, nah.
Yeah, for sure. Do you feel like you're in the right place though with customs right now, or?
Like right now we're in like a common first semester, so like I haven't really seen any of like the like full like customs and border kind of aspect. It's like a mixture of like custom students and like CJS students and that kind of thing. So.
Well, that's good because I'm pretty sure there's like 4 or 5 programs in the first common semester. So like that way, if you like the whole law aspect, then you can be like, oh, I don't really know about customs, but let me try this or this or this kind of thing. So that's good that you got like the gist and you know like so far. But if you keep thinking about like kids and that's who you want to work with, maybe like for next semester you could switch if you're still thinking about that or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like I don't think I want to work with kids, like
yeah, for sure,
that kind of thing. It's just more of like finding like the kind of like the legal side of everything and what I want to do with that. So.
Yeah, well, that's cool. You know exactly where you're going. Just have to figure out what program to get you there, kind of thing. Yeah. So how are you doing other than school?
Other than school, like, I mean, you could say I'm a mess.
What do you mean by a mess?
Like, I just, like, hard to explain, but, like, just all over the place. Like, I don't actually know what's going on half the time.
What do you mean by that? All over the place?
Like, I'm just, like, yeah, I have school, but, like, I also have, like, the stress of school, but then, like, if I tell my friends, like, oh, I have assignments, then they call me lame, and then, so I go out and I hang out with my friends, and, like, first year you party, like, that kind of stuff, so, like,
yeah,
I just kind of, like, classify it as a mess.
I don't think I'd call that a mess. Do you feel like maybe you're just not organized right now?
Yeah, you could, I would say I'm not organized.
Yeah. Well, we can work on strategies together if you want for like future sessions, like I can start planning things to help you. Like maybe we can go through like your course outline, just things like that, just to plan future things. How would that sound?
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Is there anything else happening in your life right now you want to talk about, or?
No, like I mean, like a lot of it's just like friend stuff, and like my friend, like obviously like friends shift over the year, like throughout the year.
Yeah.
Like you don't know, like you like think you're like I'm gonna be BFFs with my roommates, and then kind of go off that, and like I don't know if that's like the main reason why like I'm like struggling in school is because like I have like people like to just like talk and they say stuff that like isn't true, or they get these ideas in their head of like, oh, that's what's happening, even though they don't know like the truth. So like I think that's like a hard part of it too.
What do you mean by that? Do you care to go into more detail, or?
Like it's just like a lot of it's like people who I was friends with like distance themselves, and then it's kind of like, okay, now I have to reevaluate like who am I going to hang out with now, and then you start hanging out with people and like everyone kind of like shifts to their own groups, but like you're still friends with like different people in different groups, and you're like, if you go and hang out with this person but they're having like conflict with that person gets mad at you.
Yeah, and that can be frustrating too, because you want to hang out with both of them but they don't want to hang out with each other. So.
Yeah, so it's like trying to like mediate that and like go through that. So
yeah,
and then I think that's like affecting my school, because like now instead of like being able to be like, okay, like this weekend we're gonna hang out, but like Monday to Thursday we're gonna do like I'm just gonna do school work to myself, but instead now I have to like mediate like, okay, well I'll hang out with you these days, and then I'll hang out with that person these days. And
yeah, and that can be hard too, because you want to be able to focus on your school and your friends and your family, and by putting them all together and trying to make a schedule, do you find you're like losing track of school and stuff like that?
yeah, like I know when all my deadlines are and I know when it's due. It's just like I don't start it until like the night before, and like if I don't start it till the night before, then like I'm like, oh, I'll wake up early and I'll do it, and then I go to class and I come back and I'm like, like I could take a nap, and then I take a nap, and then I start my project, and people are like, let's do this, let's go out here, let's go do this, and then I'm like, yeah, like, you know, as long as we're not out late, and then I put it off, and then the next day it's like, do it like noon, and so I have to work all morning to complete it so that it's done by noon.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's just like I'm kind of just like coasting.
Yeah, which is not good, because you want to try and give it all your best, right? So
Yeah.
do you have any strategies you think you could try?
I think like organizing my time, like time management, and just being like, okay, well I'm gonna designate these days to doing assignments.
Yeah.
And so, and it's like hard. Like one of my friends, like it's pretty good. Like they're in my program, so like we'll sit in like a study room and like do our homework together, which like isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But then I have like the one friend who doesn't get along with that person, and then we're just kind of like at a standstill, because it's like, okay, well we're all gonna go out and do this, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well I'll come out with you, and then I'll go back inside, and then I'll go out with that person.
Yeah, it's just a whole cycle over and over
Yeah.
again kind of thing. From a scale to 1 to 10, how frustrated does that make you feel?
I would say like I get like a 6, because like I get really frustrated over it. It just like makes me angry.
It's a lot also to like take in and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because you don't need that when you're in school, right? Like you just want to
Yeah.
focus at school. Do you find you take that home with you, or?
Yeah. It's like one of those things, because like I live in the same place as them, so it's like I can't even be like, sorry, like don't want to drive or don't want to do this, because like we live in the same spot. I can walk like 5 minutes. And then like I think like the biggest thing right now is like having to like, I've been like distancing myself from my one friend, because like I'm really close with him, but my other friend thinks that I like him, and it's just like a big mess, because I have to be like, no, I don't, and they're like, no, like I like him, so like you need to back off.
Yeah,
it's like,
for sure.
like we're just friends, we're really close friends, like he's like my brother.
Yeah, all this like unnecessary drama that you don't really need right now in this moment, when you should be focusing on school. Have you tried talking to that friend?
Which one?
Both of them?
Well, I talked to the one friend, and I just like try and like clarify, like, oh, I don't like this person, like there's no feeling.
Yeah.
And then like they just kind of like go and like talk about it to like other people, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of frustrating too, because like you said earlier, that's not something you should say when you know it's not the truth, right?
Yeah.
And that gets into like the whole thing of like drama and that's not needed and stuff like that, which is also not really good.
Yeah, and so I think like a lot of times, like instead of doing my homework, like I'll do everything I can to hang out with like that person, so that like don't get like the wrong idea, because like I normally do my homework with the one person, but like if I spend all my time with that one person, then all of a sudden it's like this, like the whole drama just like sparks up again, or like if I make the wrong movement, like people get the wrong idea, and it's just like a lot of like hard like stuff to deal with.
For sure. So like what you're saying is like once you like do something to like make the drama like cool down, just like goes right back up again. It's like a constant cycle basically.
Yeah, just like keeps going, and like you like break the cycle and then it starts again. And
yeah, for sure. Well, maybe next time if you feel comfortable, you could bring one, like the one friend or the other one, and if you feel comfortable, we can like sit down and talk to them maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that'd
for
be,
sure.
Like a future thing maybe, like.
Yeah, like we could work our way up there.
Yeah, because like I don't want people to know that like I come and talk to someone about it. Like it's just like very
for sure.
like not taboo, but like it's taboo subject.
Yeah, for sure. And that can be hard too sometimes, like just talking to someone randomly that you don't really know, right?
Yeah.
Like we just met like a couple weeks ago, and like obviously I don't know you from a hole in the ground, you don't know me. So it could be hard sometimes, and throwing someone else in the mix that you might have some conflict with right now is a lot. But I think it's something we should consider and look forward to the future if you feel comfortable.
Yeah, because I feel like sharing like it, like it would just like go
downhill,
else.
Even
like,
worse maybe.
People have big mouths, like it's just like hard because like you know someone's gonna say something no matter what.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. Which can also be super hard because like confidentiality, like that's a really big thing here, right? So we want to make sure we keep that in place when everyone's here.
Yeah, so I think that like might be something like for the future, but I don't think it's like something that works for me like right now.
Something we can work on together.
Yeah.
And hopefully one day we can get there.
Yeah.
So
I think just like for me, like I think I just kind of need like baby steps, like little things that I can like implement, like whether that's like school based or if it's like whatever, because like in the end goal I just want to graduate, that's all I want.
For sure.
And like if I'm caught up with this, like I know obviously like you meet your friends in college, but like you don't, like you meet all your friends in college, but like you don't always carry all those people through with you, so it's like kind of hard in a sense.
Yeah. Are you doing any self-care strategies for yourself right now, or
like I mean I go to the gym. I like to do that by myself because, like, as much as I like going with other people, I don't like talking. I like to just kind of focus on myself. So
yeah, for sure.
I do that, and like obviously spending time with my friends with self-care. But like when you have like one friend who's like not being the greatest friend, it's hard.
Yeah, for sure. And like on top of that, just like with them being so hard, once again, it's really hard to focus on your schooling.
Yeah.
From a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling right now?
Right now, I would say I'm probably like I'm like good, so I'd be on like the lower end of the scale. Like I'd be like a 4, because like I feel fine, and just like a part of me is like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like I'm just kind of like a mess all over the place. Like
I wouldn't say a mess.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any other words we could use instead of saying that word?
I'm disorganized.
Yeah, that's a more strength-based word.
Very disorganized.
And that's okay. Not everyone's the most organized person in the world.
Yeah.
So everyone has their strengths and everyone has their weaknesses. So
yeah, it's kind of nice. Like one thing is like my like buddy, he's like the same as me. We'll leave like his assignments to the last minute, and we're like sitting there and we're like, yeah, okay, gotta do it now.
That's good, because then you have someone to do them with, right? So
yeah, and I think like that definitely is like something that like I can work towards, is like as much as like my other friends like mean something to me, but like at this point it's kind of like, okay, well you're not being the greatest friends, so like I'm still gonna hang out with them no matter what you think. Like I'm not gonna change who I am, so like, you don't think I like them. Like
exactly,
they're like pretty much like they were like, oh, they used to be so close with me, and then you came along, and now they're close with you, and it's like I understand that. But at the same time, like,
change is bound to happen. Right?
Yeah,
especially in college, you do so much growing, right? So
Yeah.
even that person, maybe they're used to everything being the same and they're not ready to grow yet, but I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll come around eventually.
Yeah, and like they had their own kind of like issues that went on, and like I'm not gonna let that stop me.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think like just kind of like staying on like the track of like, okay, yeah, we're both disorganized together, but like when we do work together, we get it done, and we get it done in like a timely manner, and it's done like before, so now I can actually look over and like look over my assignment.
For sure, yeah, definitely. So yeah, well that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where I want to go in the future though. Like I just like it's hard to like picture it.
Yeah, and it can be hard. Like for me personally, like just going straight into college, like I assumed I knew like exactly what I was doing, right?
Yeah.
And I like went in and I failed my first program and I was like, oh, like I thought this was gonna be my future and the rest of my life. And like I ended up switching programs and like
Now
I
you're
found out
successful.
exactly, like I found out what I love doing and everything like that. So like I'm not saying you're gonna fail, but like maybe you just need to switch one or two programs before you know exactly what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe just even doing some research after you do all your assignments. Be like, I know I like working with children, but I don't have the patience, so what's something like that? And then doing like little quizzes, and you know you want law, so like working with children in the law, or maybe something like that. Yeah,
it's just like, cause like I wish like if there was just like something that could like make me be like, this is what I want to do in the future, like just like kind of like pull it out of me whether I know it or not. Like I just want to know what I should do, and like it's hard because like no one can tell me what I should do and what will benefit me because like it's me.
Exactly. And when you're like 16 when you pick what you want to do for the rest of your life, right? Like my opinion, like I'm 20 now, my opinion from when I'm 16 was like way different, right? So that's also another hard thing, and you just can't be afraid to try new things and stuff like that.
No, so it's like overall it's hard because I'm like, what do I want to do?
Yeah, well maybe near like the end of semester you can like, well obviously you're going to come back next week, but like near the end of the semester we can actually start looking back at your program and be like, what parts of it did I like, what parts did I didn't. That way we can decide if you want to continue or maybe just switch. Yeah, because you also have that option, because I think it's like law clerk, PF, like all those different things. Because you have the common first semester, you're able to switch into any of them, right? Yeah. So you can always do more research on all of those programs and see what way you want to go. Yeah.
That's kind of a nice thing. It's like a nice
exactly. Because not a lot of programs have common first semesters, right? Like they have a couple common classes, but that's a really cool thing about Fleming College. Like they have like 5 or 6 different programs you can just switch into as long as there's room.
Yeah. I feel like I think like at some point I'll get there. Obviously, but for now it's just kind of like, and I think like saying that I'm not a mess, like saying that I'm disorganized, like and like hearing that myself is like
language.
Now like when I'm looking at it, I was like, okay, well like you can't really fix a mess, but like you can like organize someone that's
exactly like you turn the negative that you're looking at into a positive. So
so now it's just like
not calling yourself a mess and calling yourself disorganized, and you realize that a disorganized person can lead to an organized person. So.
I think like I can probably like make lists and like be like, okay, well like if this is due on Thursday and then I have like 2 assignments due on Thursday, like maybe Sunday, Monday I work on this one, and then Tuesday, Wednesday I work on this one, and then I have it done for Thursday and I can hand it in. For sure.
So before we end, because we're almost out of time, from a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling right now?
Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good.
You feel better
like,
for this week?
I'd say probably like a 2 for now.
Yeah, well that's good. Nothing too much. Is there anything else you want to say before we finish off? Or
I don't think so. I think I'm just probably gonna like try and focus on me. Like now, like saying it out loud, I can just like focus on me and like not worry about my other friend. Like I don't really care what they think now.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I know what the truth is, so like.
Exactly, and that's just a really good mindset to have, just so you know.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I guess we're done for today. I'll see you next week. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Sabrina. I can't stop.